Welcome back to the final episode of Explore the Cell. What are we doing this time? This time we are going to explore the cell. Why is it the last episode? Because we finally hit a precession. The new moon is tomorrow. It's July 13th. I'm not sure if we hit 1,000 sessions, but a lot of good things did happen over the past 2 days. I've been hustling a lot off camera, and I say hustling with like speed prompting because of the scope. The scope. We don't want scope creep. So what I have been working on with Claude is this really. So like explore the cell, yes. This is what it was when you click that. And now when you learn, I don't know if I love this like gradient thing that much up here, but it's there. It's got modules now, which is cool for like the learn session. But the thing is, I never wanted this to be like a product where I dedicate myself to making billions of dollars just from Explore the Cell. That's my way of justifying poor quality. So it's not bad. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not so here's the thing. It existed as just this before. It was just this. It's just this. And it was an iPhone app, a Flutter app. It was also on the Google Play Store, but they kicked me off because I didn't deploy stuff there for a while and I just couldn't be bothered. It wasn't making me money, so I stopped working on it. Now, I work on tons of stuff that doesn't make me money. I do it for the love of the game. I like learning. So, and that's kind of expressed through this app. You might be like, oh, that's the potato guy. But I have not completely lost myself to the potato empire quite yet. I mean, we integrate it in here, but I've always been someone who's like curious. I like to ask a lot of questions. I've had problems with authority. But so here we have the cell that we're exploring. We can explore organelles, maybe see what this stuff does. It understands that there's an interactive cell, which is cool. Let's see if there's names of any. No names. The ribosomes do their work out in the cytoplasm. Why assemble them inside the nucleus instead? Why assemble them inside do their work? Why assemble them? The ribosomes do their work outside. Work in the is the cytoplasm the center? It's got to be, right? Why assemble them inside the? Because the parts are made here. Ribosomal RNA is transcribed directly from DNA, which stays locked in the nucleus. Building the subunits next to their rRNA source avoids dragging fragile, half-finished machines across the nuclear membrane. The subunits are only snapped together into a working ribosome after export, a safety catch that stops the cell from accidentally translating RNA before it's ready. So, like, you might not think that's hilarious, but quite frankly, that is literally why I'm doing this. I picked that out of a hat. That was not planned. If you can't see the cosmic irony here, I'm showing you like some half-finished stuff. I'm working in the cytoplasm. It's not half-finished machines across the nuclear membrane. What is the nuclear membrane? It's this camera, right? Scales. That's what we're doing. We're exploring the cell through scales. So, yeah, I didn't do that on purpose. I'm just happy that that's how that turned out. Now, if we maybe go to organs over here, we go into this. We should start with the introduction. It looks like it's not citing people. I think the first four are. So let's go into let's see if I'm right about the first four. Might just be the first one, or maybe the second one. It does have it in the second. All right, so when we go into carbon, the versatile backbone, we do see that the Hoyle state, what is that? Fred Hoyle worked out how stars forge carbon and heavier elements, the origin of the atoms in your body, coined the term Big Bang, ironically arguing against the theory. Interesting. Fred Hoyle, there he is again. See, like, I wanted there to be... I've had this idea in the past, before AI, where it was like... Oh my gosh, my brain just gets like flooded with all these ideas that I had in the past that relate to this one idea. One of them was just called Down the Hole, where like whenever you're doing research, I click this page and I click this page and I click this page, you would like activate Down the Hole, and it would like allow you to create a history of all the stuff that like the chain of events that occurred, every hyperlink you tapped, and you could like either send that to somebody to be like, here's how I came to this conclusion doing this research, or you could just like pick up where you left off. Now, like they have Chrome will save whatever your current tabs are, and I actually hate that feature. when I close everything, I don't want everything to open up again. I just want it to stay closed because I closed it. Now I have like a lot of things popping off right now, but we're gonna finish exploring the cell today because today's the last day for that. But my buddy, he wanted to learn a little bit, or not learn. I think he wanted to contribute to an open source project that he thought I might be working on. I tend to keep a lot of my stuff like closed just because I deploy them to stuff that's tied to me, and I recently was like, you know what, I'll do an open source one, and I created one called Potato Skills. So Potato Skills, I'm going to deploy to skills.potatocore.com because it's more related to like my personal brand than it is hot potato games, potato literature, or potatoes. So we're working on all this stuff, and we got the learning stuff down. We've made like heaps. We've gone heaps forward with the party mode. I think it works. I got to play with more friends, and like I'll continue to test it here and there, but it's no longer going to be the primary focus after today. After today, our primary focus is going to be improving Tater Dash. I may make part of my primary focus to get this on the App Store, but because Flutter now, and I mean this is like true for the past 3 years, 2 years maybe, I don't know, compiles to web apps, and the web apps can do decent like on mobile, I'm satisfied with where it is right now. It'll probably be something I do offhand if I get some traction. So we play these, we spin this. Like, first things first, okay, there's an issue where it's not a big deal, but there's the map. It zooms in. It's only janky right now because I have like so many things running on my machine. 1, 2, 3, 4. I collected some diamonds. 4 diamonds plus 5. All right, that's correct. Complete turn. Let's play. We're skipping this game because we want to see if persistence worked. Yes, we added the mini map. Did you hear that? There are ghosts from the potato shack, which is the center, on the loose. They drift where they please, and they take their... There was a procession that I didn't control. I don't like that. Not a huge deal, but I was able to like somewhat read it. So now we can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our diamonds are continuing to get gobbled up. We can complete the turn. We can play... Heartbeat's kind of fun. I think Heartbeat 1 and Heartbeat 2 are almost the same, but it's like you double tap, and you try and get a... You want to make sure that you get the BPMs right. So that's going to shift soon. And it actually, you kind of have to like, I just tap too much, but it's kind of hard because like you have to double tap because that's how a heart works. But it's kind of stressful. Like you have to like, it's hard for me to like talk through it. I should do sound design maybe next year if I continue with explore the cell being the main one. I definitely just gave this guy a heart attack. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You gotta like tap, 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 tap. I think at some point, yeah, you can't just tap, 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 tap. My forearm is burning right now. Tap faster. All right, I think that'll be a fun game with friends to play. So did I score? It should say. This is my score. I don't really like how the mini-map shows on like the rewards. I also haven't made it so that there's 4 CPUs you're playing against when you're doing the one like the solo mode. That's kind of lame. We can't do everything, but I have a problem with highlighting my the problems rather than just rejoicing that we made some progress. So it shows where I am. It shows, what are those? The ops? Are they chasing me? They are. They're on my tail. I would continue this, but like you kind of get it. The key thing now, I have to improve party mode, but like as like an offhand task, when Hot Potato Games is not in season, I will come here and this will be my dashboard. I'll be like, you know what? This doesn't really demonstrate what Big Bang. Quite frankly, the progress meter would be like, these should all be videos. And what I mean, I could have each of these be an iframe of the Flutter app, but that's like way inefficient. The app would take forever to load. But I think I could have all of these be like videos. I'm pretty sure on mobile, we've adjusted it so that it is like almost like TikTok it was supposed to be. I don't think this is doing it justice. I don't know how well the search works either. I don't like how it's cut off up there. But quite frankly, we made a lot of progress. We've been hammering at this for a while. It works well on mobile. The games do. Like you can play all of the games within Explore the Cell, or you can come here and just try out each and any individual game, or you could search through them in here. Doesn't really matter. It's just a iframe within an iframe. I'm not too sure how confident I am that when you play it this way, rather than if you like launch it where it goes to explorethecell.web app, if your character, like if your progress is going to save over, I'm not really worried about it. This was an experiment. We were exploring the cell. See what I did there? So that's the cell catalog. We also moved some of our other games to like game night. See, the style isn't what it needs to be here. There's this other game I had made called In the Beginning, which like helps you learn Genesis 1, something I'm very interested in. And then we have the leaderboard now. I actually really like how the leaderboard came out. There's a featured game, Molecule Mixer, the total games played. These actually, like the sessions work. If I play a game on my phone on explorethecell.com, these will go up, which is something that I think is super important for me to collect data. I need some means to collect data. One thing that I haven't completed yet, or I don't think I have, it's the feedback mechanism. I need it so that when you hit review, you can earn HPG. I don't know if will it give me HPG? I don't think it will. I think it'll give you like virtual HPG right now, like an IOU, and I'll definitely do the payouts because let's do some math though. Like any given person could earn 125 HPG. They would need to have 2 in reserve of XRP. Now all of a sudden it makes sense to me, the tokenomics of XRP, because in order for the benefit of like not being able to sandbag or like cheese this system, what do I mean? You have to hold 1, 2, or maybe 10 XRP in a wallet for that wallet to be considered valid on the chain. That's great. We want so you would have it considered valid on the chain. On the XRPL, let's look at the XRPL live. Explorer. This is just, I find this to be so interesting. So this is like live transactions happening. And if you hover over them, it says that's a payment. It says this one's an offer create. And if I click one of them, this is an offer cancel. What's cool about it, in my opinion, is that one, remittance. It's so fast. That's not really what I'm talking. That's not what makes this exciting, though. The thing that makes this exciting is what I learned in boating school is that what am I talking about? You need to hold some, and if you were to try and cheat, like let's say I did the payouts when you gave feedback, you immediately earned 1 HPG. What, am I just going to eat the XRP burn for every payout of 1 HPG that's worth less than like 1/100th of a cent? HPG is worthless at this point, and it's supposed to be this mechanism for me to like interact with the community. It's a reserve asset. I envision it as something like, I do have some that if it got very expensive, I would trade it for XRP and go buy a lake house. But at the same time, I envision myself having to buy back all of the HPG because of if I want the system to keep going. Like I need this to like make sense economically for me. So right now, paying people 1/1,000,000th of a cent to review makes sense. But if XRP is worth $2, let's say, or $1, I think it might be worth like closer to $1 right now, and I have to burn 1/1,000,000th of that every time I pay someone out, I'm effectively burning as much as I'm sending, which is like I don't think it's as economical as one might want. So I think the rule that I had as headcanon was if you're going to do a review and like gather HPG for this, you have to do at least 10 before you can cash out. And then I would like lock up some XRP to do that because there's 120 games. And then there'd also be like a cap somewhere. So I think I have, for all of those things, I have to make it more explicit. But so maybe I turn that. Okay. The review to earn HPG mechanic we need to turn off for now and mark as a to-do for tomorrow's potatoes dashboard. Potatoes dashboard. The review to earn HPG we need to turn off for now and mark as a to-do for tomorrow's potatoes dashboard because currently we don't have a wallet locked up to pay, as well as a clear disclaimer on how the system works. We don't want to burn drops of XRP just to send a single HPG, and we also don't want. Actually, that's just the main thing. We don't want to burn drop for a single HPG. We want to incentivize gathering a bigger IOU before the payout reaches a threshold where they earn the HPG. I think if a user has played every single game, provided feedback, and voted on every single game, that it would be great. That I would want a notification. That should be encoded as a to do. Why? Because at that point I would be okay with manually sending them the HPG myself. If it was automated, there's much greater potential for exploitation. So what do I mean by that? Because let's find out right now. Let's go to how much XRP to have a valid wallet. I think it's like 2 or 10. You need a minimum reserve of 10 XRP. Awesome. Or incremental reserve. Locked. 2 per additional object you own. Ooh. For every trust line, you need another 2. Total to send. Is that true? I like that. And the reason that I want it to be expensive is the more expensive it is, like the more I can justify saying I'm not sending you HPG until you have a ton of until you've used this or like given me a lot of data to work on. And I know like all the games suck right now, and I could just play through them all manually, recognize what sucks, prompt Claude code myself. But I want to be able to like get a lot of people's opinion on things like, hey, this game sucks. This game is the exact same game as the other game. This one feels really AI generated. This one, the job of the endoplasmic reticulum is not actually synthesis and transport. It is. Whatever the things are, I need to aggregate that data. I think once I've aggregated that data, it would even be cool if I could get screenshots from people. But then I have to do like image. I don't like when people can upload images to a site that I have responsibility for, not just liability either. Like I really don't like the idea of me putting something into existence where someone could then host where I'm hosting a thing that was really bad that they put up on my site. I think that quite frankly, the world doesn't have that right now. Like right now, there's no liability. Maybe there's some liability or there's some expectation that that stuff gets taken down with like a DMCA request. But like the people who made the decision that it's okay to just upload stuff without like rigorous, not quality assurance, but just making sure it's not exploitative material. So yeah, we want to make sure that these reviews, they do not offer HPG rewards. Reviews bank towards HPG when payouts open. We need to play heavily on the safe side with regard to what HPG is. Like HPG rewards / payouts are heavily contingent on getting regulatory clarity and me consulting someone to make sure an automated system like this isn't incurring undue risk. However, we do want to indicate that this is the direction we would like to go. If that's legal to say. I don't even, who knows? So, got this stuff, that stuff's working. Let's hope I didn't just, okay. I'm making sure I'm not like accidentally showing things that are not good. Like a key, an API key. So we've got these. Oh yeah, we updated our leaderboard. We have the leaderboard. We're exploring the cell. When you're, I wonder if it updated. It didn't update this. I might want to update this in the the near future. I saw Straw Boy, Firehead. That's so we've got these. This leaderboard shows this. I feel like it should link the actual. Should link something else. This is where, like the distribution of HPG right now. Play. These are the games. Me thinking. I'm excited to work on this game. I think that's really all I wanted to show for now for Hot Potato Games. So now we've got all that squared away. I could end the video right there, but my buddy, okay. At this point, yeah, I might not be able to set up the project that fast. So with Potato Skills, I want to deploy it to skills. So we have idontknow.potatocore.com deploys here, or that's what this is. I should probably deploy our most recent. I don't know what I'm doing. Git add, git commit. I don't know. Git push. I think the push automatically will update this. It's got to build it first. So sponsored by the company that owns everything here. Everything we make, all potato. A hat for your head. Just the hoodie. One shirt, endless potato. So yeah, this, my buddy wants to learn about, or like help work on projects that use LLMs in the code base. Everything I do is really integrated into that. So understanding where to begin is difficult for me because we have this. Go into chat. If I bring in the API key, I would be able to start talking to this website. I had the idea that if you just run Ollama, having a website that like can talk to Ollama on your local machine would be cool. But in order to do that, you have to like run a command in your terminal that would like add cores, cross-origin resource restriction, or like make those rules more lenient for the given site so it could make those calls. It would be cool. A little unnecessary right now. I did want to show, this is what that is, this is what that is. I'm working on this too. I say I'm working on this. I have an agent right now. I love the idea of like after a procession of a day or a week or a month or a season or a year, for there to be some cool effect in the foreground and in the background, or in the background and in the foreground. And then I kind of like talk through like, today is Monday, July 13th, 2026. And like in doing that, it's like our recap where we get into the news, what's noteworthy, what's entertaining, what's the weather like, sports. That's what news stands for. So we have, I don't know what I'm doing. This should be updated now. 7-11, yep, I think. And we also have 7-8. Not really too interested in going through it right now, but we have Potato's dashboard. I have a lot of things going off right now, like this one that's building localhost 4200. It's updating this. It's updating this. That's not good. Let's just, and this is like not the smart way of optimizing for tokens, but like there's some overflow here. I just want this to be like a way that I can look for events. I like having a calendar. All right, so this one. This was supposed to be something that I did today, but I ended up like cleaning up the Hot Potato Games website, which is on target. But this was another thing. Spec can integrate the $HPG payout. Spec can integrate the review to earn payout, intermediary first, a running tab for feedback. Each valid review accrues 1 HPG on the user's tab, no instant payout. Payout becomes valid only once 10 plus games have a full session by the user and their review. Engagement rule. I'm so excited that like I remembered that and the headcanon matched what was here. This wasn't always the case. Like for a little while, I would have an idea, I'd write it down, and it would be different. But ever since I started working on these systems, it's been so much easier to serialize my life. Things just are starting to make sense. Engagement rule. The reviewer must actually play. Every review ties to the user's most recent session of that game. Capture all of it. Review, the user's XRPL address, the game ID, the session ID, thumbs, comment, rank, timestamp. Tab is the accrued versus paid out. Oh. Depends on the session tracking feature schema plus API. Yeah, because I want an API for this. I can't really, I mean, I could use NoSQL, but I want a API to make sure that all the data comes in and to a centralized place where it can be evaluated to be correct instead of like race conditions. Schema, API, dashboard, and Potatoes dashboard. Sessions must distinguish a full completed session from a bare play press. Accurate. Remotion time flare kit. Build the reusable remotion assets intros for time itself. The sun rising and setting, setting and rising, equinox and solstice processional animations, and one annual full year animation. Make them iteratable. A kit to refine over time. So every video carries a consistent time related flare. We did do that and we put that into, that's running somewhere, but where? But where? Oh, this is one that I wanted to show. This was the skills web. This is the project that I'm going to be deploying to skills.potato core soon. It is at 4330. So it's going to have some tools that, like, I'll be honest, I did not use these tools. I have not tested them yet, but I'm pretty confident that in how they turned out. And I don't want to run them because they're like, it'll send me down a rabbit hole, quite frankly. I'll QA them and I may love them. I may not like them. Honestly, this is Pandora's box right here. So once I make these go live, I don't know if this is even going to work because I didn't deploy them to NPX, but maybe does NPX? All right, we have something to ask our, I don't know what I'm doing system. CD, I don't know what I'm doing, Claude. When NPX skills add some repo, something, skill name, is NPX under the hood searching GitHub for open source projects tied to what is written in something? That's a long shot, but we can probably falsify it or find out if that's correct here. NPX skills, probably not. Oh, it does. NPX skills add owner repo. Owner's Brett, potato, that's where potato skills are. And then they're going to have a collection of skills. So maybe that's a spec that's just been standardized right now. So the idea with all of these, though, is like every business, you want a business model. For me, I use Claude Code for everything that I'm doing. So I want like the way to take a session and then make it productive. Right now, all of our data is being stored, like when we're using these LLMs, is being stored by these companies. They kind of have us like this by the nuts. And quite frankly, I don't know how the trademarking and copywriting works. If they were to clone me, like maybe they could get what I'm trying to do down. I'm just trying to work on some like novelty, like, okay, potato guy who wrote books, but also used to be a rapper, stuff like that. They could probably make that, but I think that there's something special that is worth curating within myself. So I'm working on that. And what am I talking about? Context journaling. These contexts, right now, they own all that data. That's a rabbit hole, right? That we just went down. They own all that data, but we got so much use out of it while we were building our projects. So why can't we get more deliverables out of that context? That story part of it, the one where it was building, like that, I think is super interesting. So there's the potato version, which is I think what mine is doing. Then there's the Tater version, which is like the advanced form. Then there's the customer blueprint. There's this notion of a, we should probably just ask what all these things are to the, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. What is a customer profile? Go to market. 3, a guided interview that locks acquisition channels. What is an acquisition channel? What is the sales motion? I don't know what the sales motion is. Intranet. What is the intranet? What is... So yeah, you're going to want, like, let's say you're working with like 30 people. You would want some way to collectively share data. Some people just use Dropbox, but other times you might want to use like a custom system you built, like an intranet. The internet, everyone's connected. The intranet, you and your people are connected. Messaging. Compose the messaging and content document of a business. Yeah, like, so all of these things are necessary. I had one like the brand guidelines document, but really you want all of these. The operation model. It's a lot though, so I'm getting tired. I did the potatoes design one, and what I really had to do is like look at the documents that I had made and then like reverse engineered and then told the system, hey, pretend you're way smarter than you are, and identify other core standard mechanics that go into all these things. So we did that. Technology, you might want like a unique tech stack. I'm also considering like switching up from being just like whatever it is that I'm doing right now to being like a Claude coach, because I use Claude. That's my one of choice. I also use ChatGPT, but I think that I could really show people the power of Claude. The Claude. What's down here? That looks like there's something. Oh, what's this? Menu? Astro. What's Astro? This is my website. Audit. No accessibility or performance. What is Astro? This is new to me. Pretty cool. Skills. Learn. Building the thing that teaches. Type your, hey, I'm the potato skills guy. What's up? Yeah, I don't have that connected to anything. About. Install with a command that needs more contrast. So, okay. That's something that I will be working on. Not super, I don't need to do it yet. I have a friend who just like reached out, so we'll do that. We'll talk through that with him. I wonder, read aloud, pass, fact check. Yeah, these are some like recurring tasks that we want to do. It might be worth me now, like, shutting things down. Okay, when I run, no, NPX does no searching of any kind, not GitHub, not by keyword. It's worth separating the two layers that got blurred together. What NPX skills means. NPX reads the first token skills and treats it as a package name. Then does 3 things. Looks up a package named skills in the NPM registry, downloads it into a cache if not already there, runs the executable that package declares in its bin field, handing everything after the name, adds something, skill name, to that program as arguments. That is the whole job of NPX. Resolve a name to publish code and run it. It is not interpreting your words as a search query. In this case, the name resolves to a real package, skills, published by Vercel. Typing NPX cowsay would fetch the package name cowsay, nothing more clever. What skills add something does. Everything after skills is handled by the skills CLI's own code. Add something and skill name are the program's arguments. Whatever lookup happens, matching something to a source, pulling files, resolving a named skill, is logic the CLI author wrote. Typically, it consults a curated index or registry the project maintains, or a specific repo you pointed at, not alive. Search all of GitHub for anything related to these words. Being that catalog is the whole point of the skills project. The distinction to internalize. NPX equals get and run this one named package, the package's own CLI. Interpret these remaining arguments however I was programmed to. The feeling that it found the thing I described comes from the CLI's catalog lookup. not from NPX guessing at your pros. Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking if it did this. I didn't know that the skills was a package managed by Vercel, so that's new to me, and that points at a bunch of different repos, which I find actually to be exciting and pretty interesting. So yeah, there's also these things that I might read at some other point in the future, but not right now. What'll be cool is the past when I like have this filled out thoroughly. We can I can use this as like raw material for a different project, a different deliverable, a different way to package it. But I'm getting out questions that I've had, so it'll be relevant to me and probably someone else. One market per room. Look at that. They're all using this one style, which I don't hate, but okay, this is another one of those styles for the images. This is another one that I remember giving it. I actually really like this one because this reminds me of the down the hole game. It's you're a potato going down the hole, the shack's at the middle, and there's these ghosts that run up and down. Kill the noise. This one looks kind of nice. At the market. Oh yeah, it's an adventure. I'm not really that impressed by any of the t-shirts it's made. I did have a really good prompt in the past of it creating t-shirt designs for me, but I never went live with it. I think I went live with like 4 of them. Well, 1 of them, and then I did some derivatives of it. Jump to today. I've already like worked on so much stuff today that I think I'm just gonna call it. But no, I'll show you in action what all shut down, softened, and encoded. Let's just make sure that we can go live with this HPG one. Play. What does review say? How was it? Yeah, 1 review per game. We'd like to. That depends on regulatory clarity, and nothing here is a promise or an offer. Yep, we're clear. I feel like this doesn't. I don't know. Should this be scrollable? I guess it needs to be. Can we add something under the calendar so that it doesn't feel so empty when there are many events to the right, and have that, and make it so that at some point the events are contained in their own scrollable container so we don't have to worry about layout? I'm getting late. This is how you know I gotta go to bed. I'm getting lazy with these. Just pasting it in with no context. Shop. I think Shop does a better job. Yep, that is a hat that we have. Play. And then it's hard to, not hard, but here's how you get to the leaderboard. I like this. I think this came out well. The thing is, the style is way different than the brand style, but I'm going to want to take these ones and put these into the brand because I think these ones are way sharper. I like the dark mode. When you hit play, like you could 5 planet games. Look at that. All right, snappy. This is what we're moving into next. Technically, this is already out of date. I can't wait to like pass like so much of this I want to update. Technically, this is like our hot potatoes guy. I don't know. I guess I kind of have to stick with him. But like he's pretty basic looking. I don't know. Maybe I'll give him a revamp. I mean, I like that. I did like that. The green is. I'm like stuck on it now. I don't know if it makes sense to change a design for a truss line after the fact. Oh, but the thing I wanted to show you, context clearing. Once it fixes this, we'll perfect. This is it. In July, it'll jump to hopefully a website associated with it. Sand Mountain Potato Festival. Yeah. So I would like to reach out my soul. These are acceptable. Why does that like move? What's going on right there? You see that? It's like right here. Not a big deal. Not something I'm going to freak out over quite yet. After this, though, we want to do context clearing. I just want to show you what context clearing does. Oh, screw it. We'll just do it now. It's going to fill this up. It says to do this. This is not true. I hit context clearing, and then that runs this. So while that runs, we will, I think I should minimize this so that we can monitor the state. All right, so one per room. Market traders multiplayer. All right, and I should probably. Boop. This game looks fun. This one looks like it got intense. Market trader. I did have it updated, but it looks like it got wild. Because I want to make sure that when I play this with a friend that it works. I haven't. Since it's real time and like really fast, it's tough. All right, no sessions harvested today. 4 private markets, 1 scoreboard anyone could forge. Ship the rules, fix live, then phase 1 of the shared market. The host publishes 1 price tape. Everyone trades it. Verified pass on production. That is where we left off. That is this, right? It's cool that it eclipsed. The thing that it left off on is also where we were about to cut off on. Maybe that was just, it's kind of inevitable in a way, and I'm attributing novelty to it. The most consequential month for frontier models? What are you talking about? I don't like this. Why is it? We have to fix this because it keeps doing this. That's it. I don't know. No, this is CD potatoes dashboard. Claude. Top developments in any given digest appear always to be empty, and this is unacceptable. They should always be filled. Late June through July 2026 saw a dense wave of Frontier releases in a first-of-its-kind regulatory event. Claude Sonnet 5 shipped June 30th, and a U.S. export control directive briefly switched Claude Fable 5, Mythos 5 off globally before being lifted July 1st. The first time Frontier models were suspended by regulatory order. This brings up something else that I wanted to talk about, which was I read somewhere that they took a model and then they made some like computer chip or architecture that streams like 17,000 tokens per second, and they conjectured that the whole future of computing, you're not even going to need this is like alarmist, but you're not even going to need HTML anymore. Why would you need HTML if you could just express intent for what you were looking for, get some type of JSON response, and then completely render a page, like a beautiful page that's interactive from scratch, just based on the response. You just have this really powerful engine that's like understands who you are, understands what the response is, and then is in real time curating something for you. If we can make those processes compel us to get off the machines, I think that would be a really cool human-like thing where it doesn't so much push us to be addicted to our screens and our phones, but instead compels us to be better members of society, which in a way is an exploration of the cell, because is that not what ribosomes are doing? Are they not being compelled by internal processes? Maybe that's all conjecture. LLMs, stats. Go back here. It might take a while. Harvesting the session, reading the anti-repetition memory, the style roster, and the character data first. It's so based on like the updates that I made to Hot Potato Games today. Let's make sure we deploy it. Git add, git commit, massive gains. That's like that. If what's unfortunate is if I want to get like a job other than the one I currently have, this strategy, like then the way I write git commits for myself, probably not acceptable. That said, I could do better at work too. When you write a git commit, you don't want it to be so useless, but I'm just going fast and making excuses. There's no excuse. At some point, you just got to take accountability. We do want to create this. That might do it. No. So it created the HTML or the MD. Which one's this? I think this one's ready. Did I already have not context cleared this one either? What's going on over here? Context clearing. It's basically like my version of cleaning up my mess. I did all these things. Now I want to like extract more from them if I can. Like if you could see, I've got Moa over here, many things running. Like we've got Potato's characters running. What did it? Look at our guys. Look at these guys, huh? Look at that thumb. These are our potato characters that we're looking at while we're buying time. We're going to work on Tater Dash tomorrow. Okay, so it just serialized it. Oop, and this is the image it made. Awesome. We did work on a leaderboard, and that is one of the styles that we have. The site became one product, and we unshipped the money. Hot Potato Games got its whole dark gold identity in one session. Catalog, trophy room, game night, events, shop ads, and the one thing deliberately pulled back was the payout lever hours after it went live. Yeah, we just I don't think that I have segmented off the money part for that yet. So we do still want to do that. It's just I need more time. That'll probably come after. You know what? Now all of this other stuff for Explore the Cell and Hot Potato Games and the feedback mechanisms, I can focus on that stuff as I work on Tater Dash, because those sessions are going to be it's one game that I'm going to be working really hard on to make fun, compelling, good assets for. Someone's going to see my process and be like, "You call this hard and fun and hardworking? Man, get off my back." So we'll close this now. I think we can updating that. I said something was unacceptable. The $20 message. Today's hook. That was from a while ago. Scales reviewed. Feedback rank feature. The third Explore the Cell objective, the party mode state machine broken into its sections, each ranked S on its own. Introduction, item usage, movement, wheel spinning, minigame ceremonies. They're not all S ranked yet, but every section of the party mode state earns an S rank individually. That is a task that needs to happen, but it's just not true yet. Party mode is the gravitational offering, and a party game is only as fun as its least fun minute. Grading the mode as one blob hides exactly where the energy dies. A killer minigame can't save a limp ceremony, and a session that skips its ceremony skips the fun. That lesson is already paid for. The engine once jumped straight to the minigame, and the whole thing ran faster and emptier. Ranking per section makes the boring minute impossible to hide. Yeah, I think this is good advice for making games moving forward. So this we went live with. We're there now. We're clearing that context out. So yeah, I think we're actually done for today. Thank you.